Alright, so I'm going to stir this all together. Yes, some of my my supporters online, my son, sometimes we talk privately, so a lot of them like to hear when I talk in the video and things like that, and they like the sizzling sounds when the onions and the garlic or whatever it is hits the pan.
Yeah, they like the sizzling sounds, but I like the smell of it.
Yeah,
it smells really good, Mom.
Thank you, baby.
Can I have some when you're done?
Absolutely. You can have some.
She doesn't feed me, guys.
He's a liar.
Love you, mother.
I love you too, baby. Okay, so I'm gonna pick some herbs from the garden. Well, it is a garden. It's a deck garden. So we're gonna pick some herbs. My husband decided that he wanted to have the collard greens from the harvest that we picked earlier. These are gonna be different videos. They're gonna be two separate videos: the harvesting video and the cooking video. So in today's cooking video, we're going to make the collard greens, some jasmine rice, and some black beans. So I'm undecided. Maybe I should just take 4 or 5 different herbs. So let's see which ones we'll pick. Well, we have a visitor, so let him finish doing his job. Where'd he go? He's one of the garden keepers. He helps to pollinate all the plants. And he just has to know that he's beautiful today and every day. There he goes. So I decided to use some purple sage. We're going to use some thyme, parsley, rosemary, lavender, and that's it. Okay guys, so here's the herbs that we went with for our meal. We have some rosemary, parsley, lavender, thyme, purple sage, and tarragon. Now, I know some of you may think, well, the rosemary, the tarragon, and the lavender almost look alike. Not really. They all have their own unique features. It's the rosemary. That's the lavender. And this is the tarragon. My camera cut off. Yep, they're all beautiful, aren't they? They're all unique. They have their own names and they all serve a different purpose. Okay, kings and queens, so I have some water to a boil. I'm going to turn the heat down because I'm going to cook the black beans first because they take the longest to cook. I did have them soaking for a little while. I'm not going to add any seasoning or salt as yet. I'm just going to wait until they get 3/4 of the way cooked, and then I'll add the herbs and seasonings and things like that. Okay, so I I put the collard greens downstairs because I had no room in the refrigerator up here. Let me make this a little, there we go. Sometimes we don't need to do editing on everything. We'll let you see some of the, little bit of the things behind the scenes. So I have these wrapped in a towel. These were the first pick that I plucked from the garden. It was really hot today, so even though I put them in a bucket, I picked the collard greens first, then I picked the kale, and then I picked the Swiss chard. Now it was really hot outside, so when you pick greens, they should go in the refrigerator right away, but I wanted to wash them, but they were sitting outside for a while, maybe 20 minutes, so they kind of look like a little, you know, little flimsy, not too much. They came back to life because they were refrigerated, so they do look a lot better. You'll see in the beginning, that's my son texted me, you'll see in the beginning of the video that they were a little flimsy. So I have a lot more downstairs in the garden, guys. I wish some of you lived closer. I can give you and share some of these greens with you guys. But anyway, I am going to take these all off the stems and cut them up, and I'll just show you everything that I'm going to do as I go along. I do have some onions and garlic and the jalapenos. These were like the two that were mature enough from the garden for me to pick, and some garlic, nice sized onions, and we'll see what we're gonna put them in. Maybe we'll put it in all three of the dishes, and I gotta do the herbs too. So I know I showed you when we were outside before, and then I brought them in what I picked today. So cut some time through the video, and we'll be back in the next clip. Let me put my herbs over here. I washed them and I have them on a older towel just to absorb some of the water. And we'll start separating these. There's several ways that you can do these. You can do it this way, pull. You can go either direction if you like. See how beautiful? I have so much, so I'm going to cook all of this. These stems that's left over from the greens are definitely not going to waste, because there's several things that I can do with these. I can either juice them, or I can use them and prepare a vegetable broth, or I can cut them up and saute them with other vegetables. There's multiple things you can do with them, or you can cut them up and freeze them and use them at a later time. But if you're going to juice them, you got to kind of use them right away. I wouldn't freeze them and then juice them. So if you're going to juice them right away. So I'm actually going to treat the collard greens to a West Indian Jamaican greens called callaloo. So I'm going to use some of the same ingredients that they use in their greens, but this is collard greens instead. So this is multicolored peppercorn and whole pimento seeds, and we're gonna grind them down. So I want to break them first before I start. So this is good consistency. There goes my alarm because I have different things on the stove. Gotta set everything on a timer. Okay, so the black beans are partially cooked, maybe about 3/4. I'm just gonna keep this very simple, and I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna put inside. So we have the smaller jalapeno of the two from the garden. I just split it down the middle, seeds and all. Thyme from the garden, some pink Himalayan salt, and I just roughly chopped some garlic. Okay, I'm not gonna make any bean stew, just gonna be very loose. It's not gonna have any thickening agents. We're just gonna keep it clean. No oil in this. But we are going to use coconut oil to cook with the collard greens. So I got this on a low to medium heat, and I'm going to cover it until it gets completely tender. So I did forget one thing. I do want to add some fresh parsley from our garden as well to that. Those vitamins and minerals. Okay, kings and queens, this is what I'm going to be using to cook the collard greens. I'm putting a Jamaican twist to it by adding the garlic, the thyme, the onion, and these here are those small mini sweet peppers instead of bell peppers, because my bell peppers aren't mature enough to pluck yet. And I have some salt and the pimento seeds and the peppercorns that you guys seen me grind earlier. So and did I say thyme? And some thyme. So from the garden, and other herbs that I chose to use as an addition is parsley, the purple sage, and some rosemary. So I'm going to cut all of this up, come back and show you. I'm going to do everything step by step. I'm probably going to just cut the collard greens on camera, just not these things. I'll just show you what it looks like afterwards. We're doing a rough chop on everything, guys. I still have this to cut. It's actually late, and I'm actually doing this, I don't want to say in haste, but it's like 7 o'clock, almost 7:30. And I've been busy all day, so we didn't get a chance to eat dinner. My husband ate lunch before, but I only had fruits today, so I'm kind of hungry. So we want to finish this up. This is how I cut it. It's my alarm again. So I cut it thin, small pieces actually, so it cooks quicker. So I'm going to bring everything over to the counter by the stove. Take you guys with me. Let me take this out and set this here temporary because I have to cook this first. So I got my greens. I got all the other goodies that's going in here. Now I have to get a pot. I just turned off the black beans because they are cooked. I'm going to push them to the back of the stove. I'm going to get my pot ready for the greens and let's get going. Alright, so this is the pot that I'm going to use. I'm going to use cooking oil. I'm going to use coconut oil. So I did switch gas jets because the one on this side that I just took it off from is the largest gas jet on the stove, and even if you have it on low or medium, it still gets too hot. It's like a jet that you would use like to make soup or something. Look, I'll actually show you the difference. So look how large this one is. And then there's a small one there. This is the rice, but it's cooked already. I'm sorry, the black beans. Here's the jet that it's on. And then there's another one. It's like a small, medium, large, and extra large jets. And then there's a center one. Okay. So, I'm going to try to do a little editing. I just want to show you some raw stuff behind the scenes without some of the edits, but of course I got to do some editing. So we're going to add the coconut oil. So my card was full and the camera cut off, but it was a good thing that the clips that I already have on my camera, I already created a folder on my computer. I just didn't remember to delete them off the camera. So we're back again, kings and queens. So put this on low because it should be hot enough now. I know you guys like the sizzle sounds, and I know you guys, that's my son opening the garage, and I know you guys love when I do talking. So I'll do that. Maybe I'll put some music in the video. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm going to add all of these beautiful goodies, fresh vegetables and herbs in the pool. And everybody's going to swim together. This is for the collard greens. And it's a nice sizzling sound and it smells amazing. With the coconut oil already, when the onions hit the pan, I said my son's name, but I think you guys know his name from previous videos, so I'm probably gonna bleep this out. Want to say hi to everybody?
Hey everybody.
Alright, so I'm gonna stir this all together. Yes, some of my my supporters online, my son, sometimes we talk privately, so a lot of them like to hear when I talk in the video and things like that, and I like the sizzling sounds when the onions and the garlic or whatever it is hits the pan.
Yeah, they like the sizzling sounds, but I like the smell of it.
Yeah, I
It
know.
smells really good, Mom.
Thank you,
Can I
baby.
have some when you're done?
Absolutely. You can have some.
She doesn't feed me, guys.
He's a liar. I love you too, baby.
Carla said that you were cooking. I was getting ready to heat up some of the food that we prepped.
What, are you gonna save space in your belly for when I'm done?
Yeah, I'll take it.
I know it's late. I thought it was like 7:30. It's almost 8 o'clock.
We'll still eat it.
All right, baby. All right, so I'm gonna put the lid on this partially so some air can escape, because I really don't want it to steam. I do want it to get a little bit of color. Hopefully it does. We are hungry because I'm hungry because I just ate like fruits for breakfast this morning. I was busy all day, guys, and so I'm starving, and I can't wait for this to get done. We're partially there because the beans are cooked. We're almost there. Okay, kings and queens, so it's been about 10 minutes. So I'm gonna add the greens. Look how beautiful they are. Ooh, so nice, so soft. I'll cook these babies up. It looks like a lot, but greens cook down so quickly. I'm going to add a little bit of water, create a steam. And put the lid on it, keep it on the same heat level, which is medium to low, but more to the low side. And then we'll come back maybe in about 15 minutes and see what it looks like. But I did forget to add an ingredient, which is the peppercorns, the multicolored peppercorns, and the pimento seeds. So let me just stir that in towards the bottom. Put the lid back on. Continue with the rice. Okay, kings and queens, so for the rice, the choice of the herbs that I decided to use was some parsley, some lavender, and some tarragon, and of course some garlic. I chose these three herbs, particularly these two, the tarragon and the lavender, because I believe that it goes very well with the Thai jasmine rice. I'm just rough chopping everything. These are all the herbs from the garden from the deck garden that you saw me pick earlier. Rough chopping everything. I have some water in my tea kettle, getting hot for the rice. And we'll be back to put it together, so bear with me. So I'm going to add a little bit of coconut oil to the bottom of this pan. This is what I'm going to use to bring out some of the oils in the herbs. Okay, kings and queens, so here I have the herbs from the garden deck, the garlic, and I did add some ground multicolored peppercorns and the pimento seeds and some pink salt. Maybe some of the oils and the fragrances. It smells amazing. I want the garlic to brown a little bit. So the garlic has a nice brown color. Let me add the rice now. This is Thai jasmine rice. Just doing it this way just to speed up the cooking process. smells amazing. Babe! Cover this for a few minutes. So this is 2.5 cups of Thai jasmine rice, and I'm going to add 5 cups of water. This is already hot water that I used in my tea kettle. Just stir it around and then put the lid back on it and let it cook down. This is on low heat. So let's check the collard greens and turn them around. Let me just turn these. You can see that the size has gotten quite smaller. They did shrink. So I'm going to turn these over. All of those collard greens in it looks like that's so little. But we have a lot more in the backyard. So, put the lid back on this and cook it down about 20 minutes, which the rice will already be done by then. The beans are already cooked, so let me show you what they look like. Let's put the lid back on this. These are the black beans. I'll have to remove these thyme stems. So those are cooked. And everything else is a waiting game, so we'll be back when everything is cooked, kings and queens. Okay, kings and queens, let's see where we are in terms of our food. Everything is done, actually. Let me just open this up and show you the greens. Be careful with the steam in my camera lens. So they're done completely. Let's check the rice. Beautiful. And we already know the beans are clean. We already know the beans are cooked. Now it's time to call the family.